A strong storm pushed through Guilford County yesterday. Heavy winds, thunder, lightning, strong hurricane strength-ish winds causing damage around our county. Trees blocked streets, knocked down the power lines, caused serious damage to houses. On Monday, Davidson County saw some bad storm damage itself with downed trees and power outages. Last week, it was Randolph County that was impacted. Dozens of trees were knocked down in that storm. So, Tim, yesterday's storm definitely intense, something that we're hearing a lot from folks in the community who were impacted. And of course, they're all saying, I'm sure it was a tornado. So let's explain what it was, what it wasn't, and why sometimes that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Tanya, there's definitely a common belief that only a tornado could do that bad of a damage. And that's just simply not the case. So this is educational here, just to let you know that, yeah, severe thunderstorms can be that bad. Not often, but yesterday was one of those rare times where it really was terrible. That storm specifically moved through Davidson County, but especially got stronger right when it entered Guilford County and then continued into Alamance. This is where we saw a lot of those really bad power outages. But just to illustrate how big the wind was and what kind of wind it was, I'm showing you here an image we usually show you when we're doing severe weather coverage. It's called a velocity image. It shows me what direction the wind is moving and also the speed. And yesterday, right along 73 and 220 near Pleasant Garden, we saw winds estimated at 70 to 80 miles per hour. But the key here, look how it's all blowing in the same direction. If it were a tornado, we would see big bright reds up against those blues and greens showing a rotating signature. Just didn't happen yesterday. All of it was moving in that same direction. We call this a microburst when it comes to weather. Air goes up into a thunderstorm and it usually comes out pretty calmly. But if it all comes down in the same spot, we call that a downburst or a microburst, and that wind can get up to 150 miles per hour sometimes. It's pretty rare, but occasionally you see that in the summertime. All the wind damage is pointing in the same direction, but if it were a tornado, it will be swirling around a little bit. That was a bad storm yesterday in Guilford.
Let's take a closer look at some of that damage from yesterday. This right here that you're looking at, that's a house on Wilburn Road in Greensboro. Extensive damage to this building. It's owned by Donna Reeves, her father. Now, he called her at 3:30 this afternoon to say a tree had fallen on his house.
I was in tears and terrified for him because he's 77 years old and he lives here alone. I want to make sure my dad's safe and has a place to stay.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand any child would feel that about their parent. Her father was not hurt, thankfully, and she is grateful that he is okay. Now, thousands of people still without power in Guilford County. The Duke Energy outage map shows more than 7,200 customers are without power. They estimate the power is going to be back on 11:45 tonight. It's down from the more than 20,000 customers that were impacted yesterday. Duke Energy says they are working to improve the grid, upgrading to self-healing technology in the triad.
Self-healing technology can automatically detect a power outage and look for options to reroute power to other power lines to get the power back up faster for most customers and isolate the problem to a smaller area. So we can see that technology help to reduce the number of customers that are impacted by an outage by as much as 75%. They can often restore power in less than a minute.
Duke Energy says that last year, self-healing technology helped to avoid 25,000 customer outages in Guilford County. That was 10 million minutes or 160,000 hours of outage time that did not happen because of this new technology. Now, this week's past weather was a really good example of how storms can just pop up really quickly. That's why it is so important to have the most accurate weather team on demand. Just download the free News 2 app from your phone's app store and you'll be ready to go. We'll be right back.